Hello yogis, Megan here, Yoga with Megan. Today we are in for a 60-minute practice. I would like to focus on building some energy today. So let's just dive right into Child's Pose. Take your knees as wide as you like, toes touch, forehead on the mat. And settle in here now, taking a couple of breaths at your own pace. Become really aware the palms of your hand on your mat. And maybe see if you can walk your fingertips a little bit further away from your body. And then drag your shoulder blades down and together, creating some length in the spine. And pick up your forehead, maybe stretch your neck another inch or two away from your body. Really becoming present here and now. Today's energy building practice, we're going to focus on prana, our breath, and specifically Prana Vayu. So we'll get into that as we practice. Take a big full inhale here and sigh it out. One more time at your own pace, big full inhale, belly expanding, and then sigh, pulling the lower belly up and in, pressing out every little bit of air. Zip up your lips, come to Ujjayi breath here. So prana is our life-giving force, right? Our breath is literally our life. So we want to have some intentional prana. Couple more breaths here, just getting the body acclimated to your Ujjayi breath. Come onto your hands and knees and take 3 cat-cow poses. Letting the whole spine move with the body. Wonderful, yes. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal out your legs here, paw out your hands, spend a few moments kind of settling into your dog. And then come to stillness, settling here. Inhale, press up onto your toes, lifting your tailbone even higher, pressing all the way through. And then exhale, press through your heels now. Maybe they touch the ground, maybe not, nobody cares. And keep some water behind the knees, maybe bend 20% here. And press your chest towards your thighs, lifting your tailbone even higher, getting some space in the spine. Keeping your Ujjayi breath going. Step your feet to your hands and take a ragdoll. So same thing here, water behind the knees, water behind the neck. Let the torso sway side to side like a tree in the wind. And I'm not sure if I told you, but we're practicing from Lubbock today. So there is a surplus of wind, that is for sure. Inhale, rise all the way up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center, close your eyes. Pick up your toes, pull them apart, and intentionally set them on the mat underneath you. And I want you to invite in Prana Vayu, your motivation, your vitality. That's what we're here for. During these kind of COVID crazy times, I think a lot of us are struggling to stay motivated. We're kind of dancing on the edge of depression, right? Stuck inside, too much TV, in my case, too much wine. So let's actively choose motivation for this next hour. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, forward fold, back down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high push-up, pause here. Welcome to take a knee. We're just going to hang out here for a moment, right? Again, internal fire, zipping up the lower belly. So you're kind of doing a small tuck up and in, Uddiyana Bandha. That's what that bandha is referenced as. And then lower all the way down. Walk your hands out off your mat. Tint the fingers. Lift your chest up in a cobra. Exhale, right shoulder down. Look over your left shoulder. Inhale, back up. Exhale, back down, other side. Inhale, back up. Tap your forehead to the mat. Downward facing dog. So we're going to take 3 sun A's now, moving with a bit of speed. So if you've taken my class before, you know the rules, right? You honor yourself and your body, but I also encourage you to dance on the edge with me. Okay, that being said, inhale, look between your hands. Exhale, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to Tadasana. Flow back down, forward fold. Halfway lift, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra. Downward facing dog. One more time, just like that. Feet to hands, halfway lift. Bow forward. Rise all the way up, forward fold. Halfway lift, high and low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. One more, just like that. You've got this. Feet to hands, halfway, forward fold. Rise up to Tadasana, forward fold Uttanasana. Halfway lift, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing, downward facing. Nice work. Yeah, really kind of dialing in right off the bat. It's one of my favorite ways to jump into practice. We're going to move into some sun B's right now, Namaskara B. So inhale, look at the fingers. Exhale, feet to hands. Halfway lift, forward fold. Rise all the way up to Tadasana. And then exhale, settle into your chair pose. You have 2 options here with the feet. Keep the feet parallel and or big toes touch. Small space for the heels. And it's really about what feels good in your body here. As long as you're dropping lower. Sometimes I cheat and my knees are like barely bent and I'm like, oh, I'm rocking it. No, bend deeper, Megan. All right, insert your name here. One more breath. Try to tilt a little bit higher in the chest. Lift your heart up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, high and low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Little variation here. Lift your right leg up. Bend your knees, stack your hips, getting a side body opening here. Might as well. Back to 3-legged dog. Step through warrior 1. Starting from your roots, your feet, make your edits, right? So your feet can be as wide or narrow as feels good in your body, but the hope here is that the hips are parallel, right? They're, they're facing forward, right? Like the headlights on a car, they're going the same direction. One more breath here. High push-up, low push-up, upward facing inhale, downward facing exhale. Left leg up. Bend your knees, stack your hips. Same thing as before, right? Side body opening. Wonderful. Step through warrior 1. And take a moment, notice your jaw. Even though we have Ujjayi breath, we're not clenching the teeth or squeezing the jaw. That's not the plan, at least. So if you are, just give it a little shake out to relax. High push-up, low push-up, upward facing, downward facing. So we're going to move with some speed now, just like we did with our sun A's. Flowing like water, maybe more like lava, right? Like we're trying to build some vitality, some heat. So consider yourself some fast-flowing lava. Anyways, inhale, look between the hands. Exhale, feet to hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chair pose. Drop your hips, lift your heart, forward fold. Halfway, chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Right leg, warrior 1. Step it through, lift up, and then you're already back in your high push-up, low push-up. Upward facing, downward facing. Left leg, same thing. Step through, lift your heart, shine out, and then right back down. High push-up, low push-up, upward facing, downward facing. Stay with me here. Feet to hands, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Halfway, high and low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right leg, warrior one. You're up, and then you're right back down, high and low push-up. Up dog, down dog. Other side, yes. Flow through, we'll meet in down dog. Wonderful, big full inhale and then sigh it out. Got those tapas going. All right, zip your lips back up, Ujjayi. We're back in it to win it. Inhale, right leg up. Bend your knees, stack your hips here. Spend a moment and try to let your shoulders kind of stack one on top of the other. Both hands are still on the ground. It's just like a play thing. And then exhale, re-square your shoulders and let the rotation just happen from the torso down, like the bottom of the ribs. Yes, beautiful. Back to three-legged dog. Step through crescent lunge. So you're on the ball of your left foot here. That's the difference in warrior one and crescent lunge. Wonderful. Yeah, we're just hanging out here for a moment. We're going to get right into it, okay? So we're going to come into a balancing posture. You're going to be fine. Shift the weight of your body into your right foot, and then bring your left leg up for a standing leg raise. Your leg does not have to be at a 90-degree angle. It can be just an inch off the floor, or you can have your knee bent, right? This is your practice. Falling is what I do, so please join me in that. One more breath here. And then launch your left leg behind you, landing in your crescent lunge. Yes. Hands to heart center, revolved crescent lunge. So you're taking your left elbow or hand or armpit to the right thigh or knee. So any variation here that feels good in your body. Right? I can't see you. This is like Jane Fonda video circa the 80s. Like I'm just talking to no one. So you've got to make the edits for your body that you know feel good. Come back to your crescent lunge, high push-up, low push-up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Yes. Left leg up. Can't remember. Yeah, flip, bend your knee. Yeah, open up. I think that's what we did. Who knows? Yes, we did. Yeah, so let your shoulders kind of stack if they can. And then re-square the shoulders. Yes. Three-legged dog. Step through, crescent lunge. Yeah, spend a moment here getting settled. So you might need a little extra bend in the right knee. If that gives you a little buoyancy and allows you greater access to bending in the left knee. Or maybe not, right? It's up to you. Now shift your weight into your left foot and fly your right leg forward into standing leg raise. This is a pretty difficult transition, let's not lie. So please enjoy falling out of it, right? Even though we're working on vitality and motivation, it's totally okay to do those things with joy. One more breath here. Bring your leg back behind you, landing in your crescent lunge. Hands to heart center and twist. As we all know, right, twisting detoxes us. It helps move things around inside, aids in digestion, which we might all need after having such a stagnant life the last couple of weeks. Maybe your life's not stagnant. I don't know. Mine feels kind of stagnant. Back to crescent lunge. High push-up, low push-up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. So we already know what we're doing, right? We're going to do this a couple more times so you have the opportunity to play with it and try different things on each time. So right leg up, bend your knees, stack your hips. We're not flipping our dog quite yet. Unless you're feeling frisky, go for it. And then coming back through, stepping into crescent, heart up right away. Shift your weight into your right foot and swing your left leg up in front of you, standing leg raise. Maybe here you lift a little higher this time than last time. Maybe you aim for grabbing the foot, working on dancing Shiva, right? Like whatever you think your body's ready for. One more breath here. Being happy to fall. Landing in your crescent lunge. Wonderful. Yes, hands to heart center and twist. Taking an arm bind is in your practice, rock that out. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry, it's not time for you yet. Maybe next week. Back to crescent lunge, high push-up, low push-up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Left leg up, bend your knees, stack your hips, whatever you did on the right, try to mirror it here on the left. So if you went ahead and flipped your dog, rock it out. And then coming back through crescent lunge, step through, and then shift your weight to the left foot, flying your right leg up in front of you. Same thing, right? We want to mirror what we did on the other side. So if you attempted dancing Shiva, or if you attempted to lift your leg higher, like this is it. This is your moment. I don't know if you got the memo, but this is what you're here for. And then land in crescent, hands to heart center. Perfect. And twist. Twisting out all of the bullshit of the last couple of weeks, maybe your lifetime. I don't know. Let go of that childhood drama that you keep holding on to. Just let it all go in this twist. And coming back up, crescent lunge, high push-up, low push-up, upward facing, downward facing. Take a quick child's pose here. Let the arms shake out. Maybe grab some water, maybe wine. I don't know if you're doing wine in yoga. I would hope you'd wait till after, but I am not the boss of you. Okay, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg up, bend your knees, stack your hips, flip your dog. If you don't know what that is, stop, take a moment, look at the camera, pause me, figure it out. That's the best part, is you've got time. Maybe you're not doing shit. Maybe you're sitting on the couch just listening to this to feel better about yourself. That's lovely too. Anyways, back over, three-legged dog, step through, crescent lunge. Yes. Now, left leg flies up. Everybody try dancing Shiva here. So you're going to take your right hand to the outside of your left foot. Maybe your leg is straight, maybe it's bent, maybe you don't grab your foot, maybe you can only reach the knee. Like, just do it, whatever it is for you. We're twisting here. Now see if you can take your gaze back to your left arm. Falling is allowed, right? I'm going to say it every time because every time my perfectionist self judges me for falling. Coming back to crescent lunge, you're untwisting to come back. And then hands to heart center, you're twisting the other way and you're twisting crescent lunge. Yes. You guys are getting lots of twists because I've had lots of wine. You're welcome. Back to center, high push-up, low push-up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Same thing, other side. Left leg up, bend your knees, stack your hips, flip your dog, right? Go for it. The other days, people were hopping into wheel like they were just in it to win it. So you just figure out what's right for you. Coming back to three-legged dog, step through crescent lunge. And then fly your right leg forward. Same thing, everybody trying dancing Shiva in any way your body wants to express it. I do encourage flexing your flying foot, but that is up to you and your body. One more breath. Untwist, land in crescent, and then twist the opposite way, revolved crescent lunge. Yeah. Same thing, right? If an arm bind is accessible to you, like, do that. Why not? One more breath. Untwist crescent lunge, high push-up, low push-up, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Yes. Walk your hands back to your feet. And then take your feet the distance of your mat. So you're taking kind of a semi-wide-legged forward fold here. And just hang. If you'd like to grab opposite elbows, awesome. If not, don't worry about it. You can wrap your hands around the back of your leg and really pull your chest through. Whatever you want. I'm just taking a moment here. And then soft bend in the knees, slowly roll up. One vertebra at a time. Top of the head, last thing to lift. Bring your feet back underneath you, 12 o'clock. And I want you to just kind of like rock a little bit, noticing the weight of your body, right? A little bit forward, a little bit in the heels, forward, heels, until you find maybe you're resting 70% on the ball of the foot, 30% on the heels. Nice. Standing leg raise. You're just going to lift your right leg up. I know we're back at it, but this is part of this prana, this motivation, this energy building. Yeah. Now without touching your foot, just come to tree pose. There's no like prize for putting your foot all the way up in your thigh. Like that's not a thing. And this is it. This is your pose. You choose with your arms, with your drishti, with your eyes, your focus, what you're looking at. And then release. Yeah, shake that out. Left leg up, standing leg raise. Same thing again, right? We're trying to find balance and equanimity in between the left and the right. So trying to do the same thing on each side. And then coming into your tree pose. Yeah, and just really feel the ground beneath you on that right foot. You're rooting through your mat, through the floor, into the outside earth. And then release. Shake that out. Good work. We're going to take dancer pose here. So you're just going to bend your right knee behind you. Grab the inside of your foot if you can. Drive your left arm up overhead. And then extend as much as you can your right foot into your hand. Yeah, wonderful. Again, our goal here long term is just very much like in Warrior One. We want the hips, your headlights facing one direction. One more breath here. And release, left side. Yeah, if right now all you can do is grab the outside of your foot instead of the inside, then that's what you do. Maybe you get a strap or a t-shirt and you line it up however you need it to help you reach your foot, right? There's no wrong way. I mean, there might be a better way, but the way that's in your body is not wrong. And release. Let's do that again each side. Right side, dancer pose. Tapping into that inner dancer, right? That joyful child who just danced around. And release. Left side. Nothing makes me happier than a good dance party. I have a friend whose daughter years ago who loved Taylor Swift, and we would like shake it off on the reg, and it was awesome. And release. Forward fold here. Walk your hands up to the top of your mat. High push-up. So we're going to activate our core here. We're about to go into some back bending postures. So we really, really want the abdomen activated. Ideally, your Ujjayi breath has been doing that and Uddiyana Bandha, but you know, we got to make sure. So I want you to pick your right leg up. If this is enough for you, awesome. If you want more, take your right knee to your right elbow. We're just hanging out for a moment. And then return it back to the earth. Left leg up. Same thing, left knee, left elbow. Return to the earth. Right leg up. See if you can low push up. Maybe I can't. Woo. And then right leg down, back up to your high push up. Left leg up. Low push up. High push up, left leg down. Wonderful. Drop all the way onto your belly. Yeah, take a moment here. Go ahead and take your arms to a T. You're going to pick your right leg up. You're going to twist onto the left side of the body. So this is fallen angel. If you can, place your right foot on the ground behind your left leg. That's awesome. If not, don't worry about it. This can be a really intense chest opener, so breathe. I tend to feel a lot of pulling in my elbow when I do it this way, so a lot of times I actually goal post my arms to help relieve some of that tension. It does hit a different part of the muscle, but anytime we feel pulling on the elbows and the knees, that's just not really a good situation. Come back to the center, reset, and then left leg up and over. Now we're opening the right pec. Yeah, same thing, right? Big full breaths here before we get into our heart openers. Come back to the center. Bring your hands under your shoulders and lift the heart for Cobra. You can lift as high or not high as you would like. But I do want your neck to stay like one unit with your spine. So sometimes we kind of crane our head forward, and that's just not necessary. Shoulder blades are coming down and together. We did this earlier, way when we first began practice, where we kind of pinched everything down and in. And then lower back down. Wonderful. Moving into upward facing dog here, if that's in your practice. If not, you just take another Cobra. So this time you're going to lift your chest up off the ground and then press to the tops of your feet. Lift the thighs off the ground if that feels good. Squeeze lower belly up and in. So we're not crunching the low back. I think I talked about this earlier, or maybe another practice, like the only crunches I like are those Nestle crunches that have like Rice Krispies in them. Otherwise, we're not doing that. One more breath. Lower back down. Come onto your knees for Camel Pose. Yeah, so you need to take the arm variation that works for your body. So I like to just have my hands on the tops of my hips, pull my elbows together as much as possible in my body, lift the heart up, and then drop the head back. Nice throat opener here. Ideally, again, we're still pulling the shoulder blades down and together. One more breath here. And then lift back up. Nice. So tuck your toes underneath you and sit your hips back. We're going to take broken toe pose between our camels. And this one is aptly named broken toe because it hurts like a motherfucker. At least for me it does. I broke my right foot a couple of years ago, and this pose I think is what really brought my foot back into a healthy state of being. And that was miserable, by the way. Don't break your foot. Don't break anything. All right, release the toes, kind of tap them out beneath you. And then come into camel pose again. Your choice, right? Yogi choice. How are your feet? How are your hands? Are you doing one arm? Are you doing two arms? Play with it here, right? Again, a sense of adventure. One more breath. Lifting your torso back up. Retuck your toes if they're not already. Sit back, broken toe pose. Use your ujjayi here, right? The moment you want out, exhale. And if you can, exhale in ujjayi, but if you really need a release, you just exhale with the mouth open, right? Like give yourself that option. Release, tap out the toes again. Last camel. Same thing as before, yogi's choice. Dealer's delight. 3 full breaths here. One more big inhale. Exhale, lift up slowly, gently. Sometimes this can make you lightheaded. Come on to your back. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Just take a moment here. Let the spine settle for a moment. Okay. Keeping your feet roughly hips width apart, maybe a little wider. Lift the hips up. And I want you to try to roll through your spine like a wave of the ocean. So once your hips are up, roll back down. So you're starting from the middle back, lower back, hips, glutes. And then once you touch, you roll right back up. And then once you get to your peak, your highest point, just roll right back down. So again, we're just kind of rolling up and down the spine. Do that a few more times. so good to bring some vitality into the spine. Good work. Yeah. Okay, so now you have two options. You may take a bridge pose and hold it, or we're going to jump right into wheel pose. If wheel is in your practice, you're going to bring your hands by your ears and lift up. If you're doing bridge, just pick your hips back up. Go for it. Now, do it. And breathe, right? This is not the moment to hold your breath, I promise you. Big inhale. Exhale, lift a little higher. And then release, come down. I like to kind of windshield wiper my knees between my wheel poses. But please try to refrain from curling into a ball. All right, one more time. Back up, wheel, bridge, go for it. Shining everything up and out, activating the back side of the body where we receive love and joy. One more breath. And lower back down. Same thing as before. Take any kind of settling movements you need for the spine. All right, one big final wheel or bridge pose. Knock it out, go for it, do it. This is it. Now or never, my lava yogis, right? My Prana Vayu lava. Do it. One more breath. And release back down. Good work. Supta Baddha Konasana, laying down butterfly. Become aware of your body right now. What is different in your body from when we started just a few minutes ago? And then more importantly, what is different in your mind? Have you had the opportunity to stay present to this practice? I can only imagine that there might be children where you are, or dogs, or trash men, or the news, and just distractions, right? So give yourself some space and the opportunity for this practice. Come to happy baby. If you can't grab your feet, you grab the inside of your thighs. It's important that the head stay on the mat or the ground. If that's just not possible in your body, maybe you grab a pillow and put a pillow under your hips or under the head. This pose should not be stress-inducing. Well, really no pose should stress-induce, but you know. And I like to kind of wiggle around here, kind of rolling through each foot, each hip, straightening one leg or the other. I have a friend who's like bendy, flexible chick, and she just like goes into the splits in the air here. I mean, if that's your jam, do it. I'm not gonna. Yeah, maybe you rock side to side. Awesome. Bring your knees into your chest, curl into a ball. And then take 3 spinal rocks, forward and backward, forward and backward, forward and backward, coming up to a seat. So take your legs wide. We're going to take a seated, wide-legged forward fold. So just like I was talking about earlier about like pulling behind the knees or in the elbows, this pose specifically, if you feel pulling behind your knees, you just need to shorten your stance. Again, there's no award for doing things that are painful. And if there is an award, it's a shit one, and you don't want it. Anyways, I digress. Sitting up nice and straight, tailbone grounding down, both arms overhead, and then lean to your right side. So what I say when I'm leaning, it's the spine is still kind of stacking on top of each other. And the left arm is coming overhead. Nice. And we're exhaling to get a little deeper. Inhale, lift up, other side. So we're getting some little spine flexion here in addition to reaching into the back of the legs and the hamstrings. And back up. With your spine as straight as possible, you're just going to hinge forward through the hips. So way more important to me that your spine is straight than that you can like put your elbows on the ground or your forehead. Like, I don't fucking care about that. Right rise back up. Now, taking an opposite approach, I want you to twist your torso over your right leg and then fold over. If you can take that left hand to the outside of your right foot, awesome, rock that out. If not, you don't do that. You reach for something else. One more breath. Coming back to center, twisting over the left, same thing, folding over. One more breath. And back up. Wonderful. Bring both legs in together, right? So you're coming to a staff pose. Nice. Yeah, it kind of takes a few minutes here, a few moments, pardon me, to kind of settle, right? You want to feel the tailbone on the ground, kind of wiggle around. I want you to bend your right knee so your right foot is on the ground. And then I want you to just tuck your chin in and try to drop the crown of your head to the top of your knee. And then inhale, lift up, straight. And then take your right foot, cross it over the left knee if you can, and then twist. So perhaps the left elbow comes over the right knee, maybe not. I like to put my right hand behind me to help support my spine and really make sure I'm straight. Getting a little rotation in the spine now. With our breath flowing freely. Release. Straighten the right leg. Bend the left knee. We're going to start same thing where you're just going to tuck the chin to the chest. Try to get the top of the head to the knee, maybe the forehead. Everyone's spine mobility is different. Rise up. Cross your left foot over your right knee and then twist the opposite way. And there's some varying thought process on what to do with the neck here. Some people say you should only rotate from the torso, so your chin should stay centered on your clavicle. Some people say to twist the head. Like, it's your body, man. You just do you. If there's a sharp stabbing pain, don't do it. If it's uncomfortable, you should probably do it. One more breath. Release. Nice. Come back. Both legs out in front. Now we're going to bend your right knee in like tree pose legs. And fold over the left leg. Same thing as before. If you want to take your right hand to the outside of your left foot, rock that out. If not, you just don't. And I really, really appreciate, again, a straight spine here as much as possible. So the tailbone is actually pulling out beneath you. Like, so instead of going under you, grounding, now it's coming out like behind you. Yeah, one more breath. And rise up. Other side. So left leg bends, folding over your right leg. Wonderful. Yeah, I like it. Reverse, lift up. I guess that is the reverse of what you are doing. Okay, bring your hands just past your hips, fingertips facing your toes, and then lift up for reverse tabletop. Knees bent or not, your choice. And again, here we want to really focus on squeezing the shoulder blades down and together, giving the neck some space, letting your throat open up. So good for the throat here, for your ability to clearly communicate. One more breath. Lift a little higher if you can on your exhale. And then release. Drop your hips, lower down. Coming onto your back again. One more Supta Baddha Konasana here. Take a pause. I like it. Yes, good work. Knees bent. Cross your right knee over your left knee. Pull both knees into your chest. Grab your ankles. Whale tail. If that is not happening in your body today, you just dial it back, right? Maybe you start by just crossing the legs and lifting the knees a little bit. The only way we can progress is by doing it now. One more breath. And release. Left leg over right. Yeah, you know where we're going. One more breath. And release. Bring both knees into the chest. Drop them to the right side for a supine twist. Long-term goal is both shoulders are just relaxing on the earth. But maybe that's not happening in your body today, and that's okay. This is it. This is the pose. What can you do here to get 5% more comfortable? Sometimes I need to pull my knee down with my hand to try to level it up. Sometimes I've got to restack my hips, It's all just a conversation with our body. That's what yoga is. Conversation with our body, our mind, and our soul. Come back to center. Twist to the other side. And sometimes that conversation is one-sided, right? Sometimes we're not listening to our bodies. And so my hope is, my invitation to you is to allow the conversation with your body to be two-sided, for it to tell you something and you to listen. For it to tell you, ooh, I want water, and you to say, okay, we'll have water, then wine, or whatever. Yeah. Coming back to the center, bringing your legs out, your arms by your side. We're going to take an extra long, juicy savasana today because part of our energy building is rest. Rest is vital to energy, and I don't think it gets enough credit. So today, you're welcome. All right. In order to get into our deepest rest possible, I want you to take a big full inhale in, squeeze everything, make a fist, curl your toes, squeeze your eyes. Don't worry about eye wrinkles right now. It's not the time. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, drop. Notice that difference. Right? The conversation you're having with your body right now. Maybe it wants another one of those. If it does, now's the time. Inhale, squeezing, right? Even your glutes are squeezing. You're clenching your jaw if that's okay for you. And I mean, literally, every ounce of stress and worry, you are squeezing it right now. You are hearing your body's request to be rid of this. And then you exhale and you drop. And in this time of perceived lack, I want you to acknowledge that you are in control. So we kind of feel maybe like we're lacking autonomy with the government telling us where to go and what to do and how to do it. Or maybe we're feeling out of control because our job is different right now, or maybe you don't have a job, maybe you're furloughed or fired. But you are actually in control of your peace, and you are in control of your peace by way of your prana, by way of your breath. So for this savasana, I just want you to focus on your breath. Maybe you count your inhales and exhales. Maybe you envision that your stomach is like a balloon and you can see the air coming in and flowing out. Maybe you inhale for a certain number of counts and exhale for a matching number of counts. But I want that to be your focus. I want breath, prana, life force, to be where your mind's eye is for this savasana. As always, I will alert you when it's time to come back into your body. But for now, I will stop talking. Okay, yogis, it's time to come back into your body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Yeah, just take a moment here, right? There's nowhere to go or rush off to. As you're ready, come to a fetal position on your right side. We are looking for vitality here and motivation, and so our right side offers us that energy. Now take a couple of breaths here. So some of the ways that we can increase our motivation, just in general as humans, is deep belly breathing. So if you are feeling maybe stuck, some simple deep breathing might help you. Also getting outside, if you can do that for even a few minutes, that sunshine will help more than we know. And then of course always who we spend our time with really affects our motivation and our energy. So I know we're quarantining right now, but if you can maybe schedule a Zoom or a happy hour or a phone call with someone who brings positivity and joy into your life, that would be best, right? The vibe of our people affects our vibe. And so if we're really struggling with anger and resentment or fear, probably best not to hang out with people doing that same fear-based thinking right now, right? So you can help raise the vibe for those around you, and likewise they can do the same for you. Okay, coming up to a seated position, settling in, tailbone grounded, shoulders soft, crown of the head reaching for the heavens, feeling connected here and now to your motivation, to your prana, to me. Bring your hands to heart center. Pull your palms apart, fingertips stay touching. You're making space for something new now that you're nice and motivated. And it is always my pleasure and my joy to share yoga with you. The love and light in me mirrors and reflects back to you the very same love and light in you. And together we say, Namaste. Thank you and have a great day.